Hello and welcome to another episode of Narrated Rolling, where I roll with my friends Jason and Gosha in their basement dojo. Today's session is again just with Jason. Gosha's recovering from a little injury, so this gives Jason and I time to just tweak the normal rolling rules that we do. So we're going to roll nogi, and we're going to play with all the allowed footlocks in submission wrestling, and we have 10-minute rounds. So let's have a look. The first clip I want to show you is this, where I make a terrible mistake and give Jason my foot. It shows you that I'm trying to work a lot of 50-50 in these rolls, just because I'm more comfortable with 50-50, and also at the same time I'm following the tutorials by Reinhold and Lachlan Giles. So I spin to a kneebar here, and it's not successful, so I switch to a 50-50, or at least an attempt to get a 50-50. But it's not looking so good. Jason sort of sits in this cross-legged position, which makes stretching his leg out very difficult. And I need his leg, although I need his knee bent to create heel hooks, I do need a bit more of his leg to actually get hold of the heel and the ankle. So you can see I'm grabbing at it. It's not really successful. So what I do next is you can see a bit of grip fighting. So I'm going to try and step over for the outside senkaku, which Lachlan Giles likes to promote. But Jason's aware of that, and he's pushing my foot down. So again, a lot of grip fighting, foot fighting, if you like, as well. I've run out of options really, playing this sort of locked-in 50-50. So I spin over to try and see if I can work a knee bar or grab his other foot, but that exposes my heel, which you can see right here. Right here, not very pleasant. So I roll back, but he gets me here. You can see it just about. Yep, there he is, pushing up the heel. So that was a painful lesson, really. Don't expose your heel. I'm constantly aware of that, but really not pleasant when you make a silly mistake like that. We're going to look at another little area here where I get a bit more success. It's 17 minutes 05 something. Let's have a look. We're going to start it here where Jason's taken my back, and in these rounds Jason took my back a lot, and he's been very successful in this session because he's picked up a few tips to improve his back control and his progression to submissions, and just keeping me there, because I'm usually able to escape, but thanks to his attendance of Dan Strauss's seminar, he's improved his back control. So there's a lot of back control in these sessions, but in this particular example I managed, if I can just get a hawking position where I'm curving my body and my head nearer to his feet, and if I can grab his foot, then I have a chance to try and either escape or work some sort of footlock. So here I'm going for really just a fake toe hold. It's not really doing anything, but he's using his right leg to defend, which gives me an opportunity to attack his right leg. So when you use one foot to defend the other, it also becomes vulnerable. So I'm stuffing it into my stomach. Again, working on the leg, I'm stuffing his right foot into my stomach, and let's see if I can get an Estima Lock. There's the Estima Lock. It's quite nice. So that was a nice little finish. So we'll stop it there and move on to another roll. We're back and we're looking at another roll, another 10-minute roll with Jason, but I'm just showing you highlights really, highlights where I was successful and also where I failed in achieving certain finishes, also showing some of Jason's good work as well. In this case, I realised that I really need better entries into the leg lock position, so I start in butterfly and I shoot in. Here we go, I see him probing, and I need to shoot in, grab the leg and shoot my hips underneath his body weight and get a single leg X. Yeah, it's not the best single leg X, but it's like you see, I'm already grabbing the heel. So there's a nice digging for the heel here. Jason's aware of this. He's pulling my arm, because I need two hands really to successfully finish the heel hook. But I've still got his leg, and the advantage of shooting in for the leg first is that I've established a position where he's struggling to defend. So it's a shootout, and where there's always one against the other. Whoever can secure the control first, okay, and then I get that finish. So there's a heel hook there, and we get the tap there. Okay, so that was nice. Again, example there was where we established the single leg X early, so I can take time to fashion for the footlock. We'll move on to another roll where there's some cool stuff going on. Now this was really interesting, so we'll move it on to 3 minutes 10. There's a really weird finish coming up, which I just sort of improvised. I don't know if it's a thing, but we'll move it on. So, butterfly guard again. And again, shooting in for the single leg X. Doesn't quite go well, so I go for the knee reap, and I rotate. Jason rolls out of it. I'm trying to dig for the heel. Jason's hiding it very well. I'm using my body position is the outside ashi. So it's quite secure, but I'm prone to being squashed, if you know what I mean, as he's moving forward. It's not the strongest position, but it does give you access to the heel. Here we go. I'm grabbing for that, and I'm pushing away. So we'll look at that again because that was really interesting. So as I'm going for the regular, see my hip line, see my hips. I'm going for the regular knee bar, but it's not working. So I see that foot here. And because my hips are underneath where it should be, because his knee is here, in the regular knee bar my hips would be on top of the knee, but clearly I'm not, I'm underneath the knee. But his leg being completely straight is an opportunity, and I figure, well, a knee bar is just simply straightening the leg, why don't I just push the leg away from me, almost like a hamstring stretch, like you would do like a stretch on someone, some physio. And I got the tap, so that was really interesting. Really weird knee bar finish. And I thought it was worth showing off here. It's quite a lot to show, so we'll move on to another roll where Jason gets his own back on me with a really cool lock. So I'm just starting off another roll here, and we are sort of in a weird leg entanglement, no real dominant position here. We're just grip fighting and maybe sort of fishing for things. And then I try and get into a better 50-50. So here I am, protecting my ankles from Jason's attempts to dig my heel. Last time we rolled, I got really badly footlocked by Jason with a Texas cloverleaf from my 50-50. So I've learnt my mistake. So I'm protecting my ankles. And we're grip fighting, but you see what's happening with my my right foot here. It's slipping out here, exposing the heel, which I thought was kind of safe. I thought it was okay, and as you'll see in a minute, it's not really. So there you go. Jason sees the heel. He realizes that's a target. I see him looking at it. I still think I'm safe, but I'm not. Unfortunately, it's obscured by my knee, and I'll describe what happens. What he's doing is a straight ankle lock position, but twisting my heel that way. So the holding, the grip is a straight ankle lock, so underneath, and he's grabbing here, and he's twisting my heel here, which is just like a heel hook, and yet it's he's not digging for the heel, doesn't need to. So here we go, he gets the shape in, and there, he gets the finish. And that is known as an Aoki lock. Aoki, after a Japanese MMA fighter. It's really nasty. And believe it or not, it's IBJJF legal, because it just looks like a straight ankle lock. There's no exposing of the heel and digging it, you're just going for a straight ankle lock. It's not his fault that my foot is twisted in a way that would actually look like a heel hook. So that was a really interesting one to bring out. I'm going to move swiftly on to another roll, and let's have a look at 6 minutes in. There's some knee bar work, so let's have a look. Okay, so Jason tries a rolling knee bar. I fall flat on my bum and catch a toe hold. Let's have a look at that again in slow-mo, because it's one of those things that, generally Jason and I roll fairly at a moderate pace. We're not very explosive. But in this situation, he went for a kind of a cheeky move there. Is it an Imanari roll? I'm not quite sure what he was trying, but he latches on. But his hips are not over my knees, so I didn't feel necessarily under threat there. I think he was just looking for the sweep, which worked, and I fall down, plop, onto my bum. But I've already grabbed the foot. See, can't quite see. Unfortunately, I'm obscuring, but I've already grabbed the feet, push it down, and I've got the toe hold there. You can just see my configuration here. So I've got like think it's just a regular toe hold, or not quite sure which variation of a toe hold I got, but I got the tap there. That was a nice quick one. Again, as I say, this was so full of incidents and cool things, so we'll move swiftly on to another roll, and I'll just pause it there for a second. Okay, we're moving on to another roll here. Altogether we had, I believe, 6 10-minute rolls, so we fill up an hour with 10-minute rolls, and there's 6 versions. I think we're on number 1, 2, 3, roll number 4 or 5. Let's have a look. So quite late on into our session. You'll pick it up here from 50-50. I stand up, and I stand up at an angle, so that's the way to do it if you want to stand up from someone's 50-50. But I don't exit fast enough. I'm fiddling around with his feet, and Jason does a crab ride, so very successfully, and that could lead to a back take. So I immediately roll to avoid my back being taken, and I fish for his feet. I'm aware that my head and arm are being attacked, so I regard and just do some sort of weird open guard with a knee in the way. A little bit of nogi spider guard here. I do like my nogi spider guard around about here, just pushing my foot on the bicep and diverting his direction, which exposes his heel potentially. So I'm in a single leg X here. Jason's away, it's planting his foot on the ground, but it just takes a little shove from me to expose that heel. So all I need to do is unbalance him. I switch from single leg X to outside ashi, which protects my heels, and then I dig for the heel, and I get the tap. So that was quite nice. Nice little sequence there. As we're doing more and more of these nogi rolls, Jason and I are more deliberate in our sequences, our transitions from one move to the other, and I think that's really the key for all of jiu-jitsu really, but sport jiu-jitsu anyway, but certainly for leg lock attacks. You almost can't expect to get the first submission attempt in, but something will always crop up later, so you've got to be prepared for that, and that's kind of like the area that we're both developing. So as you see, I'm in this outside. Actually, he's protecting his leg, but he's unbalanced, so if I push him down to the ground, that exposes the heel right about here. It lifts his leg up into the air, and I know this, and then I dig for the heel and then go for the heel hook. So that was a nice little sequence. Now, one of the other things that I've been trying to work on from following Lachlan Giles's tuitions is the K-guard, and although I don't show it, I have been trying to use it throughout this round, but I'm still very new to it and not very good at it. But here, there's something very funny. We had a good laugh about it. But here, I am pulling into sort of an open close guard, if that's such a thing, and I switch my hips and drop the knee for the K guard. So in a minute, I'm just playing around, and there I go. Switch my hips, hip out, drop the knee in, and the next stage would be digging for the leg, but he's moved his leg out of the way, but he exposes his arm. Jason's right arm is exposed, and I just stretch out and get the armbar, which is almost like, you know, whoever he's laughing, because it's like a rookie error, because he's so focused on avoiding me digging for the leg, because Jason knows the K guard, that you know, you can make it, and I've done the same. You just make rookie errors. You forget another part of your body, and it gets attacked. So that was sometimes you've got to be opportunistic and get these things. A couple of more things I want to show. We're whizzing through these little highlights. We'll just pause it there, and I'll show you our penultimate roll. There was something cool happening there. Okay, so this was our penultimate roll, and you pick it up here where I'm playing a little open guard. Jason's just seated. I think my foot's trapped under his body weight. Doesn't matter. I sit up and butterfly. Lots of grip fighting. I find there's almost more grip fighting in nogi than there is in gi. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But there you go. Technical stand up. I'm trying to pass. He's locked in my knee line very well. So I grab the head and just apply a little weight, spreading my weight out without getting swept. This is one of the dangers if I'm trying to sort of almost. I don't know if this is body surfing, but it feels like I'm body surfing on Jason there. So I'm very conscious of my weight distribution. But he's very wriggly and mobile underneath me, so I didn't feel like I could successfully complete the pass. So when in doubt, isolate a leg, sit back, and ankle lock. There we go. That was very fast, so we'll just rewind that finish again. So here I made the decision I was going to abandon the guard pass and isolate a leg. So there's his leg isolated. I guess I could have continued passing around to the outside, but as I say, Jason's so good at regarding I'd figure my best option was to attack that exposed leg. There we go, and what am I reaching on the outside? I think it was just like a straight ankle lock, but from an alternate grip. Can't quite remember. Sometimes you just do these things because they're instinctive, but you can't quite remember the technique involved. So that was interesting. I just wanted to show you that. Nothing much happened in our penultimate round. So we're going to go to the final round after the buzzer goes. 11:55 something. We had a. It's when we knew it was the last round, we just went for it. So this is a nice little routine. I'll show you the whole thing actually. And I'll stop it if there's anything interesting to talk about. But here, a bit of stand up, grip fighting. When I hold double wrist, I just put my weight down. It's the only tiny bit of wrestling that I know is that you can't just grip, you have to apply your weight onto the grip, so he's kind of coming down with you. Sit down into butterfly, more grip fighting, trying to shoot him, get underneath him, going for the reap. Jason tries to spin out of it. I haven't dug any ankle or heel or anything yet. I'm just trying to successfully hold that reaping position. Now I'm in 50-50. Settle in 50-50. I realize he's going to attack me, so I'm attacking him and get a heel hook. That was a pure shootout. As you can see, it was really just the first to the draw. So I'll just micro show this. So we're in 50-50. I'm on the ground, Jason's on the top. It doesn't really matter. Jason could easily get a heel hook on me as I could on him. So a bit of grip fighting there. So it's a straight shootout. So generally in a shootout, the first person to draws their weapon and shoots is the person who's going to get. So I'm already shaping up for the heel hook here, and he's figuring, uh-oh, I'm going to do that as well. But my foot here is exposed. He hasn't latched onto it yet. He hasn't dug the heel out. So he's there. I've got the heel. So that was nice. We carry on. Let's have a look. There's one last thing I want to show you, which was quite a nice. I haven't been working too much of my inside senkaku, but actually once you get the sort of what they call the double trouble, really hard to get out of it, and you almost have your choice of legs to attack. It's one of the sort of high percentage positions in the leg lock game that I'm really enjoying, so maybe I'll use more of that in future, but for the moment I'll just show you right at the end. I just threw it in at the end and from a defensive position, weirdly. Let's have a look. So I'm just in this sort of panda position, defending the grips. What happens? He squashes me. That's not what I wanted to show. Okay, so we're moving up. So actually he got me. Jason got me. This is I told you that Jason was very good at taking it back today, and he was just dominating me throughout. I'm only showing you the footlocks, but you know, there were so many rounds where he just took my back and I couldn't escape. And there you go, see like a face jaw crank. That is horrible. That is really horrible. It's kind of like the poor man's RNC. Sorry, Jason, but I'm gonna, just because I was a victim of it so many times. Anyway, it's nasty, but it's there for you. You know, if the person, what I'm doing is I'm wriggling out of position, so you can't get the strangulation on the RNC, but you can get a jaw crank using the same grip. Why not? Go for it. You know, and it's very hard to escape it. Anyway, let's move on where I'm. Okay, so we're standing, and I switch back. This time I've learnt to improve my back step and lean on the hips, put my weight on his hips so he can't wriggle out of it, which exposes the knees. Now it's all a matter of joining my legs together so I can get the triangle. Haven't quite got it yet. My knee isn't through. So I need to clear my knee. Still isn't through really. I'm not happy with my knee line, so I don't join my legs together. There. No, a bit of fiddling. There. So good. I've got his knee, and he's exposed that heel. Boom. Lovely finish. So we're gonna zoom in there. There. Look at the sort of leg entanglement. He's trying to separate my legs, but it doesn't matter. Once I have both legs, see how his legs are crossed over? It looks like I'm going for that leg, and then actually I go for that one. Boom. There you go. So that's all I wanted to show. Whizzing through them, didn't do too many rewinds and highlighter pens. I just wanted to show. It was a killer session actually, and this is the day after, and absolutely knackered. 6 10-minute rounds, and we were pretty much really going for it. As Jason is more adept at thwarting my attacks, and as I'm getting better at trying to attack, we're both improving, and in many respects we're denying each other opportunities that we used to get, but also creating new opportunities. So it's a matter of working both the brain and the body and learning and growing together. So I really enjoyed that role yesterday. I'm absolutely knackered and paying for it the next day with aches and pains, but it's all good. We're making each other technically more proficient, and it's a damn good workout. Anyway, thanks for joining me on these narrative roles, and I'll try and catch you next time. Thanks a lot.